What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode number 41. Today, in today's video, we have the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago Cubs that we're taking on. Two pivotal games, or two pivotal matchups at least, that I'm showing you guys here for the NL Central Division race. We see Hunter Greene is on the mound here in a 3-1 baseball game. Paul DeJong was having yet again another great game. And check this catch out by Charlie Culberson. Nice job. He's not really known for his defense out there in left field, but gotta love that effort, right? I'm normally not used to making diving catches. I can rob a home run every now and then, but like trying to judge and time a dive, that's been really difficult for me throughout the course of MLB 18. But it felt really good to actually get that diving catch, especially for Hunter Greene and his confidence. So he comes in there at 19 years old and gets the job done. So that's really, really good for him and his confidence. But we see Nick Senzel comes up in the top of the ninth inning, and the Cardinals are going to take this W. Jack Flaherty gets the win. So we drop a game to the second place in the NL Central, the second place St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously not ideal. But as we shoot over to the next game, we get the Chicago Cubs. And I know that was kind of a quick shot of the lineup, so if you guys want to see the lineup, you can just go back and pause it at that screen. But you can see that we're only 5.5 games up on them right now. So they're 82-70, we're 88-64. So we did string off a couple more W's after that Cardinals series concluded in St. Louis. But we head back home to Great American Ballpark, and we're starting to turn the corner. If we can get this W here, we're going to head into the playoffs with a hot streak instead of a cold streak. You never want to be at your worst when it comes to the playoffs, for sure. So we see this, look at this play. So Scooter Gennett looks like he made a fantastic play to come in and get the out there, but umpire's going to call him safe. And Brocale doesn't like the call, so we are going to challenge this. And it looks like Votto pulled his foot off the base. So they're going to call him out anyway. I thought once I saw that, I'm thinking like, oh my God, I just challenged a call that's not going to work. They are going to keep it that he's safe. He just pulled his foot off the bag. But we see here a double. That's Anthony Rizzo. And then we get Chris Bryant with a strikeout, high and inside cutter. So good job by Graveman to limit the damage in that Cubs middle of the order. Kyle Hendricks coming on the mound here for the Chicago Cubs. Not going to overpower you with anything. He's basically going to nibble the corners. He's going to try to get you out and off balance with his off-speed stuff. He's basically an off-speed type of pitcher, and he's going to get the Reds to go down 1-2-3 here in that inning. Let's go to the top of the third inning, and Kendall Graveman still pitching very, very well. Let's go to the top of the fourth, a 1-2 count against Anthony Rizzo, and here's another ground ball back to Graveman. So good stuff, right? 0-0 game. Here we are, top of the fourth yet again, and it looks like Contreras is going to strike out looking. So Kendall Graveman balling out in today's game here. He's 13-9, so he's having himself a heck of a season, and he's still carrying it over into today's game. Bottom of the fourth inning, Senzel is going to get on by an throwing error by Chris Bryant. So we do have a runner on first base. Votto comes up with an 0-2 count, and he's going to send a ground ball to Russell, who flips over to second baseman. Going to get the out over at first and make it look easy. So a little bit of a pitcher's duel here in today's game. We go to the top of the fifth, a strikeout on Addison Russell, swing and a miss. We go to Jason Hayward with 1-2. And then he's going to drive a ball right in the left center field gap. Trammell and Winker chasing it down. Got to get it in because Hayward does have a little bit of speed to try to get a triple, but he's going to settle for a double. So now we're kind of in some trouble here a little bit, but we do have the number 9 hitter, Kyle Hendricks, up. That is the pitcher, and he's going to stare down a strike 3 call. It's going to the bottom of the fifth inning, and Russell makes a nice play here. That's Taylor Trammell getting the start for Billy Hamilton in center. You guys can see the box score. Cincinnati has no hits. We do have a runner on base, though. We did have a walk at some point in this game. So the perfect game is no longer intact for Kyle Hendricks, but, you know, being no hit by Kyle Hendricks is kind of an issue here. But we're going to get out of this inning in the top of the sixth inning. So Kendall Graveman still pitching very, very well. Top of the seventh, Still, yet again, the Reds offense just not coming through in the clutch. We're trying to not get no hit. We're trying to win the game first, but you got to take one step at a time, right? Don't get no hit, because if you get no hit, you're probably going to lose. So try to string some hits together and see if you can't, stretch across some runs here. So Chris Bryant going to get on with a double. Here's an 0-2 count to Wilson Contreras. Going to take a sinker, 93 mile an hour up and high and inside, so he's going to take that for a ball. And then we've got a swing and a little looping line drive to center field, and this, guys, is going to score Chris Bryant. So Cubs are up 1-0 now in the top of the 7th. Unbelievable. Just that's the way it would happen, right? So Jason Hayward comes up. He's going to send a little looping fly ball out there to left field. Winker makes that play and throws strong to second base, hoping to get Contreras picked off. Now, interesting call by the Cubs. They're leaving Kyle Hendricks in. I mean, yeah, I get it. They're trying to shoot for this no-hitter, but runners in scoring position in a 1-0 game, like, you want to add some more runs onto your total there, because we've got 1, 2, 3 hitters coming up for the Reds in the very next inning. And look at Jesse Winker leads us off with a solo shot. So he's going to make the Cubs and Kyle Hendricks pay for that decision and that pitch. So we go with Ryan Yarbrough, who's going to try to shut down at least this one left-handed hitter, the second baseman for the Cubs in today's game. 0-2 count, so he was just pounding the strike zone. We're going to relieve him of his duty there. Good job by Yarbrough to get that left-handed batter out. We get Jared Hughes with a good matchup against Albert Almora, who loves to put the ball in play. He jams him with a sinker, so Senzel's going to throw to first and get him out. So we left him in. We left him in to face Anthony Rizzo, and he's going to make us pay. So Rizzo comes up and hits a solo shot. It's going to be 2-1 here late. Hughes had actually been pitching pretty well down the stretch here, but he does have that tendency, right? Because, I mean, you got to look at the overall season and how the guy's been pitching, and, it was definitely a Doug Brocail mistake on leaving him in to face Anthony Rizzo. He just needed to get that pitch a little bit more inside. We had him set up for the shift, so I know that he likes to ground out into the right side of the infield, so second base, first base side. So check this out. We go with Jose Leclerc to face Chris Bryant. He had him 0-2, and he's going to get an infield single as Blandino can't get a strong enough throw. Not his fault. That's an extremely tough play, but this is what I like to see. Challenge Wilson Contreras high and inside. Two-seam fastball going to strike him out. So here we go. Mano-y-mano here. Taylor Trammell against Brandon Morrow. Can the rookie come through here? Fastball right down the middle, and Trammell grooves it. Can it get out? Get legs, ball. Home run, Taylor Trammell. It's going to be 2-2, guys, here late in the bottom of the 8th inning with nobody down. That is absolutely huge. Huge shot for the Reds. A shot of life, really, because after this home run here with nobody down, we can start stringing together a little some kind of action here on the base pad. Tucker Barnhart gonna get hit with a pitch, so now we got a runner on with nobody down. So pitcher spot coming up here. Pavin Smith gonna be pinch hit 4. So we like the power numbers with Pavin Smith here against a hard throwing Brandon Morrow. His fastball usually stays in the same spot, but he's going to give him a little cutter here. It was either cutter or slider, but it was his secondary pitch, and Pavin Smith was all over it, but he just couldn't keep it fair. So he's going to send it foul here. High fastball, tough to lay off there. We were looking in there high and inside to try to turn on something, but really crafty pitching here by Brandon Morrow to try to get Pavin Smith. We're looking for both of our young guys to come through, right? Tucker Barnhart not going to be able to advance here as a little fly ball to center field is caught, but we're looking for our young guys to come through. It would have been kind of a good story, right? Taylor Trammell hits a home run, Pavin Smith comes up big and gets an RBI or something. But we've got Jesse Winker up now with 2 down, and he is going to strike out on that cut fastball, that cutter or slider. I can't tell what it is. It looks pretty hard. It doesn't look like it's very soft at all, so it's probably not a slider. But let's go with Brad Hand here in the top of the 9th inning. Single right past second base. We get Javier Baez, who was pinch hit for, and he's going to send a line drive out there to Winker, who makes the easy play out in the left. And he's going to toss over to first base. I probably shouldn't have been doing that. Don't mess with stuff. Don't make throwing errors. But we've got 2 down here, and then here's Caratini trying to get something going for the Cubs. 1-2 count here. What is going to happen? We got a changeup low and inside, and Caratini cannot handle it. So the Reds get extra life. Oscar De La Cruz coming on here to face off against the Reds. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. And check this out. Hayward, who's normally a really good defensive player, just had a mental lapse there. He probably should have dove for that ball. Probably should have came in a little bit harder. But Senzel, nice leadoff single here. Here's Joey Votto, 2-2 count. And he's going to get a pitch that he knows he can drive. Is going to get out. It is not. It's going to land off at the base of the wall. And look at this. We do not send Nick Senzel home. We're not even going to test it. Hayward's got an unbelievable arm. Almora does as well. Scooter Gennett coming up on a 2-2 count. Only need a fly ball right here. That's Ian Happ out in left field. We know we can run on him. It's deep enough to score Senzel. Here comes the throw from Ian Happ from left field. A strong one all the way from back there. What a great throw. But guys, Senzel slides in safely. Your Reds are winners against the Chicago Cubs. It's a very, very hard-fought W. Nothing is coming easy right now for this team, but this is the kind of game that builds character heading into the playoffs. Guys, I will see you in episode number 42. It'll be our last games of the season before we head into the playoffs. Check on some guys' performance. So I'll see you guys on Monday. As always, peace.